we haven't mentioned it yet, but Stu is he's not an agent, sorry, he's a publicist, as he corrects people multiple times. He's a publicist who obviously is trying to get his clients into various parties and on the covers of magazines and information about them into the gossip columns and all that stuff. And this guy, because he lies, because he is sort of a douche, basically, he lands in the sights of our killer, who has up to this point killed a pedophile porn maker and a stock guy who basically sold all of his stock before he knew the bottom was going to drop out and cost a bunch of people a bunch of money. So like
he ruined, so a guy who is a pedophile pornographer, somebody who ruined countless lives financially for his own gain. And then a publicist who's a douchebag.
I think that the reason I think that that's the way that it is because we're still supposed to like Stu at the end. Like if the German porn king pedophile had been our main character and survived, I think that would be a really hard thing for audiences to go, well, I'm glad that guy lived.
Well, here's the thing. Like the idea is he has to do all this shit to prove that he's learned a lesson, and it's left kind of open-ended whether he was ever going to live or he could do enough to confess his sins, right? Like, what could a German pedophile porn king, German pedophile king, like how much could he confess and still, like, it wouldn't change the fact that he is a pedophile.
Yeah, so the stock guy makes sense because he even mentions like, oh, he could have given that money back. He could have given that money to help the people that he wronged, and that would have been enough. But like, what could the pedophile do? Like, I mean, how is he going to make restitution for people that he might have hurt?
It's impossible, and it sets this weird. It is like, to me, it has this weird domino effect of like pedophile, Wall Street asshole, publicist, pizza guy.
Yeah, it's going to start like going down like this guy ran a red light and well, it's time to die.
I mean, like you could easily have seen Phone Booth 2, except for Phone Booth went away. So like you couldn't do it.
Yeah, again, there's no way to like make this movie like apparently Larry Cohen wrote a movie that came out in I think 2004 called Cellular.
I love the idea that he has his whole phone oeuvre.
Apparently it's exactly the same movie. It's just about a person with a cell phone who has to talk to someone on a cell phone. I've never seen it, but apparently it's the same thing. Like he wrote this while he was waiting for Phone Booth to be made because apparently he'd been trying to get the idea going since the 60s. He tried to sell it to Alfred Hitchcock, and neither of them could figure out a way to make the character stay in the phone booth, which is so mind-blowing to me that they couldn't figure that out.
Here's the thing, like that's what I was going to talk about with the Wikipedia. So it mentions that he had really pitched that concept of a movie taking entirely place in a phone booth, Alfred Hitchcock, when this is a very Hitchcockian idea, right? And which a lot of Larry Cohen stuff is. Yeah. And then it said like he, the idea in the 90s came to him of the sniper, which is like, it took you like 30 fucking years for that? Like, that's impossible. Yeah. It says, and like, this is written like, I swear to God, Cohen wrote this himself in the thing. Like, Cohen solved the puzzle after 30 years of trying. Like, what a weird thing to say. And he goes, Hitchcock had died, leaving the project in Cohen's hands. And the way that is stated to me in my head is like, Hitchcock in his dying breath holding Larry Cohen's hands in the hospital goes, I leave it to you. just like Walt Disney's last words were apparently Kurt Russell, Hitchcock's last words were phone booth.
To hear the full episode, head over to patreon.com/PredictoCast.